All right, week 17, we got the Texans versus Chargers. Trying to get subscribers, so I'd love it if you subscribed. Look down at the bottom right and just hit the button. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. So LA is favored by 2.5. You guys have heard me say that I am from LA. I'm not a Chargers guy. I'm a Rams guy. That notwithstanding, I don't let it influence my picks. I'm going to take Houston to either win or at least beat that 2.5 point spread. The model has Chargers with that slight advantage. And you come over here, that equates to about a 1.5, 2 point spread. So again, that's more saying, make the money pick in that Chargers might win, but it should be a close game. It should be a low scoring game as well. So when you come over here and you look at the raw model, you're seeing 20-17 as just the raw median values. If you look at the average up here, again, it's all the models are saying that it should be a close game. The 2.5 points is probably just a home field advantage. And let's be honest, I think Justin Herbert, people like Justin Herbert, but when you kind of look at the numbers, their overall offense for the Chargers is mediocre, but that's better than what we got over here for the Texans, which is quite frankly just poor performing, but they've got a fantastic defense. So that's leading us towards that low scoring game. In which case, when low scoring game, I'm even less inclined to take the favorite on that one. The other thing with the Chargers, they just seem to, when there's a big game, both of these teams need to come out and win, and that just seems to be, in my opinion, when the Chargers come out, they lay an egg. I don't know what it is. Just seems to be in their DNA. Maybe it's just my anti-San Diego bias. I apologize. That notwithstanding, I think Justin Herbert's a fantastic quarterback. I love to watch him play. But sometimes you go out there and you're just like, oh, where the hell is everybody else? So let's get into some more of the numbers here. So when you look across the board, again, really looks even here with passing. Same with the rushing yards as well. Definitely see advantage to the Ravens rushing. That's going to be interesting to see against a really good Houston defense. The other thing I want to point out is when I see numbers like this, those outliers, is it kind of shows you that, hey, there are times to win that Houston pass offense might not always be great, but there's times where they can really make that happen. And we'll see if that happens. When we come over here to the right, a couple things I see here, Houston, they got to protect their quarterback. That's what we're seeing with this right here is sacks make a big difference. And the other thing that's going to make a big difference is going to be those big plays. You see a distinct advantage over here for Houston getting those big plays. And that's kind of one of the big things that you've seen a lot more in the games here recently is you see one team win the box score and lose the game. And that is so frustrating. Sometimes it just has to do with the fact that they're not efficient. They're not making the yards when they need to. They're getting garbage yards, all things which are difficult to really see in the numbers. And that's really where you got to look at exactly how teams have been getting their yards. In this game here, both of these teams need to win. They're going to come out and play. That's the hardest part about making picks this time of year is when you have teams that are in it. They're not going to be open up their playbook. They're going to let some of their starters rest. And quite frankly, sometimes they're just going to bench them. Like, why would you play your number one guys in a game that you don't care about? This game matters, and that's why I'm doing this game tonight. Let's come down here to the bottom right. So on the bottom left, that's their top player strength. I think that's always important to know, like hypothetically, who are their best players. And this score is when I take their top three. In this case here, it's quarterback. And Justin Herbert is demonstrably better than his name just left me, but the kid from Ohio State plays for Houston. But man, he can light it up though. But when you come over here, the receivers for Houston, they definitely match up well. And then same over here with LA. But then when we come down here, Texans, they should be able to run the ball. Being able to run the ball and control the ball and keep that ball out of the other team's hands. Sometimes it works. Sometimes you see teams able to control the ball, control the field, even if they're not scoring. they're getting or scoring touchdowns. They're putting either the other team in bad field position or getting their threes, and they're able to dominate that way. And you see a really soft LA offensive line up here. So that's going to kind of relegate them to needing to pass the ball if they're going to be able to get anything moving at all. And then over here, we talked about the really good Houston defense, but I would also point out LA isn't as bad as you might think. This should be a really good game. Should be a close game. I think both teams are going to come out. They're going to have to come up with their playbooks. They're going to have to come out and play hard. You're going to have to see some innovation. That makes this a fun game to play. Also, should make it a tight game. Like I said, I do have a bias against the Chargers. Being an LA guy, I've always struggled with the San Diego teams. I'm glad to see that the Chargers did pick it up to LA. But I'm a Rams guy. But at the end of the day, both of these teams are good. I think both of these teams are mediocre. I don't think we're going to see either one of these teams make a deep playoff run, but it's going to be fun to watch. So I'm taking Houston. I'm taking Houston to beat the spread. So, all right, thanks, and drop me a note.